In this session, we will discuss on public key cryptographic primitives and their application in different applications. We have seen data security like data confidentiality, data integrity, data authentication with the help of symmetric key cryptographic primitives. Now we will see how different security properties can be achieved using public key cryptographic primitives. In symmetric cryptography, we have seen that one key, that is symmetric key, is used for encryption and decryption. Whereas in public cryptography, a key pair, a public key and a corresponding private key, which are mathematically related, a key pair is going to be used for public key operation. Typically, public key is used for encryption and signature verification, whereas private key will be used for decryption and signature generation. We will find a large number of applications, real-world applications. Their public key cryptographic operations are being used widely, and while saying so, public key cryptography can offer that encryption, authentication, integrity. In addition to that, public key cryptographic operations can also provide non-repudiation, anonymity, and other different security properties. Now, 1.1, all of us should note that public key cryptography or public key cryptographic algorithms can offer all these security objectives, but with additional cost, computational cost, in comparison to symmetric key cryptographic operations. In short, public key operation will be expensive compared to symmetric key operation. For example, data confidentiality, one can opt for symmetric key encryption. For authentication, one can use public key operation like digital signature, or one can also use symmetric key operation like message authentication code. So choice is given to application service provider, and based on the application requirement, one can use public key operation or one can use symmetric key operation or combination of these two. Let us first see how public key encryption decryption performs. In public key cryptography, a public key and a corresponding private key, a key pair is going to be used. Now for encryption purpose, public key will be used, and for decryption, corresponding private key. How it works? Assume that Alice and Bob, they are at two different places. Alice wants to send message in a confidential manner, and Alice and Bob, they are going to apply encryption decryption operation using public key cryptography. So here Alice will have a key pair, public key and private key. Similarly, Bob will have a key pair, public key and private key. Now public keys are publicly available. In other words, Alice knows Bob's public key, Bob knows Alice's public key. Their private key will be kept secret to themselves. Now since public key is available, Bob public key is available to Alice. Alice can select a message, and that message will be encrypted with Bob's public key. After that, Alice will send that encrypted message to Bob. Bob then decrypt using Bob's private, and vice versa. If Bob wants to send message in a confidential manner, Bob can encrypt message using Alice public key, and then Alice will decrypt that message, encrypted message, using Alice private key. Now you have number of algorithms in literature or widely used public key encryption algorithm is RSA. So one can use RSA encryption, Elgamal encryption for public key encryption and decryption operation. Another operation is public key operation is signature generation and signature verification. Now signature generation and signature verification again take the same context, Alice and Bob. So Alice wants to send one signed document to Bob. Now here signature will be generated using Alice private key. So signature can be generated using private key, and that signature will get verified using corresponding public key. So Alice can generate her signature using Alice private key. Then Alice sends that signed document to Bob. After receiving the document, Bob knows Alice public key, so Bob can verify whether that signature is genuine or it is a forged signature. If signature verification is successful and that verification will involve Alice public key, then Bob will accept Alice signature as a valid signature. Now again, one can use RSA signature algorithm or a DSA signature algorithm, or there are other signature algorithms. Different signature algorithm will rely on hard computational problem. Now from this you can see using encryption or using signature that authenticity of a document can be provided. Using public key operation, that is encryption, that confidentiality can be achieved. But for large data, one may not prefer to use public key operation because it is expensive in comparison to symmetric key encryption. So for large data encryption, one should go with symmetric key encryption algorithm. But for short message confidentiality, like how one can share the key, that key size is small, one can use public key encryption algorithm. Now in this public key is basically public key say number of bits, that is a string of bits. So it doesn't carry any identity or who owns that public key. For that, one operation or one infrastructure is managed, that is called public key infrastructure. So this public key infrastructure is supposed to manage all users, servers, all entities public key, and that public key is basically public key certificates. So there will be a trusted authority who will issue public key certificates to various entities. Now what is that certificate? That certificate is basically a digitally signed key. So that is public key certificate. For example, your public key is going to be signed by the trusted authority or certifying authority, and that will be verified at any place because it is digitally signed, and that will get verified with the trusted authorities or certifying authorities public key. Now to manage public key, large number of public keys, public key infrastructure is required. Now, what is public key infrastructure? A set of hardware, software, people, policies, procedures, all these are part of that infrastructure, and that infrastructure is responsible to generate, to distribute, to store, to revoke public key certificates. Now this arrangement, this public key infrastructure is basically an arrangement that provides what? Third party vetting of vouching for entities identity or that public key identity certificate. Most widely used certification practice is based on X509 version 3 standard. Now this X509 version 3, if you see, it will give you 7 mandatory fields. What are these 7 mandatory fields? Serial number of the certificate, version of the certificate, what signature algorithm is used for creating that certificate, who is the owner of that certificate, that is subject name, validity period of the certificate, issuer name, who issues that certificate or certifying authorities information, and the public key. owner's public key. For example, serial number, you will have one unique that numeric serial number. Then version, that version 3, X509 version 3. Signature algorithm could be RSA or DSA. Subject name, if you are the owner, so your name, your email ID, some common name must be there. That email ID, then organization name, country name. So all these will be part of that subject name. Then validity period could be 1 year, could be 2 years. So from which date up to what date that certificate is valid, that has to be mentioned. Then the certifying authority information, who is the issuer of the certificate, who is responsible to manage that public key infrastructure for all issued certificate. So that certifying authority's information must be mentioned in that certificate. And finally, that public key of the owner, that exact public key. Now in this public key infrastructure, it is essential to which will be responsible to manage all issued certificate, all revoked certificate. Okay. Now typically it contains 4 entities. One is that certifying authority who will issue all certificates, then its designated agent, delegated entity, that is registration authority, then that certifying authority's repository where you will find all revoked certificate, because certificate will have one validity period, and after that validity certifying authority will revoke that certificate. So that repository will provide the information all revoked certificate. If certificate is revoked, if public key is revoked, then that public key should not be used for any real world applications. Then obviously user who is the owner of that certificate. Now in certifying authority, it will have the primary responsibility. It will issue certificate, it will manage certificate, it must revoke certificate after the validity period, or if that certificate is blacklisted, so it should revoke that certificate, and all related information, that policies, procedures, all this information. And registration authority's task is what? It is basically a delegated agent, delegated by certifying authority. So to reduce that administrative responsibility, certifying authority can have number of registration authority who will basically verify legality of the certificate request. It will collect that certificate cost, it will provide all relevant information to user, and registration authority finally will help certifying authorities to provide or to verify credentials of the user and collection of fees, etc. After that, certifying authority will generate public key certificate for the user. Now typically what you can see that you have user, that is the subscriber, you have registration authority, then you have certifying authority. So user will basically request for a certificate to the certifying authority. Then certifying authority will ask user to submit all credential documents to any nearby registration authority. Now subscriber or user will submit credential, and if credential is found correct, then registration authority will provide a passcode to the subscriber, and subscriber passcode will be forwarded to the certifying authority also. After that, subscriber will submit request for public key certificate, and certifying authority will generate the certificate. For that, subscriber will also provide the passcode which subscriber got from registration authority, and if certifying authority can see the same passcode, and after that certifying authority will generate public key certificate and it will provide certificate to the user. At the same time, that repository will have information this certificate is issued to this user, and that repository is going to be live continuously. So merchant or relying party will consult repository to see whether a certificate is valid or certificate is revoked. Now for that certificate revocation, that operation, two approaches are in place. One is certificate revocation list or CRL. Another is that OCSP, Online Certificate Status Protocol. I mean, certificate revocation list, so the list is going to be, say, aggregated. So that list is going to be very long, and obviously if that database is very long, then that search operation will take some time. So it is a bit expensive for real-time certificate status checking. Also, if that revocation list is not available, then relying party will not be able to check the status of the certificate. In other words, that CRL is subject to simple denial of service attack. In contrast, online status checking or OCSP, Online Certificate Status Protocol, is basically a fresh approach by which any relying party can check a given certificate, its status, whether that certificate is valid or it is revoked. So for that, relying party will consult that OCSP server, and that server will basically say that yes, the certificate is valid or the certificate is not valid. Now using this real-time checking, that freshness of the certificate, that relying party will consider or will accept that given public key certificate, or it can, if that certificate status is found not valid, then relying party will discard that operation which is using that public key certificate. Okay, now what you can see that public key operation will provide data confidentiality, data authentication, then integrity, and also it can provide non-repudiation, where one cannot deny his or her that pre-committed or previously committed that operation, that one cannot deny. Suppose if you have made payment to a merchant cannot deny. So you will have a receipt by which you can prove that that payment has been made to that particular merchant. So non-repudiation can also be provided using public key cryptographic operation, and anonymity can also be provided using public key operation. So for that, digital signature for authentication, anonymous signature for anonymity, digital signature for data integrity, and public key encryption can also be used for data confidentiality. As I said, that for short message confidentiality, public key encryption can be used, and primarily public key encryption is used for key establishment. Now one problem or limitation in symmetric key cryptographic operation, that we have seen how communicating parties, how Alice and Bob, they are going to share the same secret key. Now in order to share key among communicating parties, public key encryption algorithm is very, very effective. So where Alice can use Bob public key, and Bob can decrypt that encrypted message using Bob private key. They do not require to use any secure channel for sharing that secret. Using public channel, both Alice and Bob, they can establish a common secret using public key encryption algorithm. Okay, so with this, what you can see, that data security, for example, data confidentiality, data integrity, authentication are playing important role, and one can achieve confidentiality, integrity, authentication using symmetric key cryptographic algorithm. One can achieve confidentiality, integrity, authentication, non-repudiation using public key cryptographic algorithm. So based on application requirement, one has to select the right primitive for that particular application, or as per requirement of the application, what cryptographic primitive, what cryptographic operation will provide intended security. With that, one can select different cryptographic algorithms available in literature, and you can see real world applications where public key cryptography operation is also used, symmetric key cryptographic operation is used, or combination of both public key cryptographic operation and symmetric key. Both operations are being used in a given application.